Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get you more on our breaking news now. And the farm workers, Phillip Schutte, as well as Pieter Doorewaard, have been found guilty and have been sentenced in the Northwest High Court. And we've got an update. 28-year-old Pieter Doorewaard sentenced to a total of 18 years and 35-year-old Phillip Schutte sentenced to 23 years. Our reporter Salwane Kakao is live for us at the Northwest High Court. Hey Salwane, thank you very much indeed for your time. The judge using words such as disgraceful and appalling, using words such as inhumane treatment when describing the actions of the two farm workers. So what did you witness?
Well, a very good morning to you, Blaine. Indeed, the court this morning didn't even take very long. It started with the judge reading the mitigating factors and also the personal circumstances of the two accused. He considered the fact that the accused number one, Pieter Doorewaard, is a 28-year-old man. He's unmarried, and this is the first time that he was committing crime or offense. Then he also took into account that accused number two, Phillip Schutte, was also committing crime for the first time. He's a first-time offender. He is married and he has 3 minor children. But in essence, he was saying that the seriousness of the offense that has been committed is far more outweighing the mitigating factors and their personal circumstances. And he sentenced Pieter Doorewaard to an effective 18 years in total. And he also sentenced Phillip Schutte to a total of 23 years. To break it down for Pieter Doorewaard, he sentenced him for murder to 15 years, kidnapping 3 years, intimidation 2 years, theft a year, and pointing of firearm for 2 years. And for Phillip Schutte, he sentenced him for murder to 20 years, and for kidnapping, he sentenced him to 3 years. For intimidation, he sentenced him to 2 years. For theft, it's a year also. And for pointing of firearm, it's 2 years. So in total, Pieter Doorewaard will serve 18 years and Phillip Schutte will serve 23 years. But we want to hear the reaction of the NPA, and we're going to speak to now Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Mayor Thembeka Mbatu. Mayor Thembeka, how did you receive these sentences?
Okay, as NPA, we initially would have loved to get a life imprisonment. But after listening carefully to the sentencing of the judge, we accept the sentence and we are happy. We believe that the sentence is appropriate in the given circumstances.
And the judge was also saying that he took into account the community's interest, in that you'd remember that after Mahlomola Mosweu was killed in 2017, Coligny saw heavy protests, violent protests, houses and businesses were burned. The community was, up in arms saying that justice needs to be done. And what we understand also is that the court also took into account, or rather Judge Ronnie Hendricks took into account how the two men treated the witness who saw them committing the crime. He was saying that they also kidnapped him and mistreated him. And do you think as the NPA that more could have been done? Maybe the judge could have considered harsher sentences for these two men?
Well, like I've said earlier on, that in the given circumstances, remember that the judge also mentioned that there was no direct intention and this matter was not pre-planned. And we strongly believe as NPA that indeed the sentence that the judge gave is an appropriate sentence. And I also believe that it's sending a strict message out there.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Mayor Thembeka Mbatu. She is the Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, saying that they, as the NPA, accept this sentence, although they would have hoped for life sentence, but they understand how the judge justified these sentences. Blaine?
During the sentencing proceedings, we heard some people calling for these life sentences. We normally see a packed gallery at court. What's been some of the reaction from those in court?
Well, indeed, even in this case, we saw the same thing, Blaine. I can tell you that the court was full to capacity. People from just normal residents came from different parts of the province to come and hear the sentencing. And we also saw quite a number of EFF members in court, painting really the court red in their red regalia, showing their support also to the family. What I can also tell you is that even though some people could not make it to court, I can tell you that there's been a public interest in this court. I remember this morning around 6 o'clock seeing on Facebook some people already posting that they will be watching television and they will be glued on the radio to be updated about this court case, Blaine.
You know, you were reporting about this case causing a lot of tension among community members. What are you hearing on the ground with regards to race relations in the area?
Well, Blaine, you'd remember that shortly after Matlomola Moswewu was murdered in 2017, Coligny came to a standstill. Issues that came out were violent protests and also issues of racism were out in the open. People were saying that they believe racism has always been there in Coligny, but rather swept under the carpet. But after that incident, we saw a lot of incidents. We heard a lot of allegations that people were making about businessmen in that area, about just locals in that area, about racial divisions in that area, about how people of different races are not receiving the same treatment from people of different races to them. And today we haven't really heard anything about people complaining about the fact that they have been given lighter sentences, if we may so put it, because of their race, or that they could have gotten heavier sentences, but that was not the case due to their race. We have not heard that today. Blaine?
Okay, Selwane Kakao live for us in my King.